Alright, so by this point, it's not really a secret that some video games are pretty damn hard, such as Dark Souls or Hades, stuff like that. And while some games do have a difficulty adjuster, like Titanfall 2 and Doom Eternal, which are two games I show in the background, some games, like again, Dark Souls and Hades, Ghost Runner as well, do not have a difficulty adjustment tweak. And that's for a very good reason. It's because it's a part of the tradition. However, today we have a very big-brained individual who believes that Dark Souls, actually no, every game, including Dark Souls, should have an easy mode. And they argue it pretty badly, so I thought it would be good video material. God, I'm so happy right now. I don't have to clown on a console fanboy right now. Oh my god. Seriously, commentary in gaming especially has been just fucking devoid of any topics to actually talk about. So this is godsend for me. Sure, it's a bit of an old video, but I don't mind that. I'll talk about it nonetheless. So here we go.
Every game needs an easy mode. You just need to learn to deal with it. This is on the level. It's a truth universally acknowledged among gamers that playing a video game on the easiest mode makes you a loser.
That's complete bullshit. Dude, if you actually do that shit, I'm sorry, but you're fucking pathetic. Like, I don't think anyone is genuinely out here going like, oh, ho, ho, you're a bitch. If you play on the easiest difficulty, you're not a real gamer. So we've already got an inaccuracy there. Like, it's not bitch mode to play on easy. Obviously, it's cooler if someone manages to beat a game on, like, a harder difficulty, but it's not like bitch mode, okay? Shit, bro. It's not like Lil Timmy over there who decided he was going to play Modern Warfare 2019 and recruit it. It's gonna be a loser. It's not that big of a deal. It is a video game difficulty.
Sorry, I don't make the rules, that's just the way it is. Just because you'd rather sit and enjoy the experience at a pace and level that feels comfortable to you, you're apparently somehow less of a gamer, as if that's ever been a quantifiable concept.
You know, that actually sounds somewhat sensible. I actually agree with this 100%. Like, it doesn't make you less of a gamer to play on easy mode. It just means you're moving through at your own pace.
Let's be honest with ourselves though, there's absolutely nothing wrong with wanting to play video games on easy mode. In fact, I'd like to go ahead and suggest that every single video game out there needs to start including an easy or assist mode as industry standard. Yes, even games like Dark Souls.
But Dark Souls is known for being a hard game. It's only known for having one difficulty, and that's you gotta do everything right. In other words, Dark Souls is supposed to be hard. I don't really know what you expected.
I'm sure some of you are outraged at such a suggestion, so let's take From Software's super challenging franchise as our first example, because I think as a series it's a good jumping on point for a discussion about accessibility and difficulty in video games. As far as I see it, there are two main arguments against the Dark Souls easy mode. The first is something that the internet likes to refer to as get good, which is essentially shorthand for if you can't play it as it is, you shouldn't be playing it at all.
Honestly, that does make sense. I mean, Dark Souls' very philosophy behind its game is adapt or die. Simple as that.
The get good argument, yet we're sticking with that, is utter nonsense of course. There are dozens of reasons why someone might not want to or even be able to play a game like Dark Souls the way it is. Maybe they're a parent and have limited time to game in the evenings, so can't sink the hours required to learn the moves and patterns of the franchise's famously demanding boss battles. Maybe they live with some form of disability that means they literally can't play the game the way it is. Does that really mean that they should be missing out?
I mean, we could play What Ifs all day, but that won't change the fact that Dark Souls is a hard game for everybody.
Whatever the case, it doesn't strike me as entirely fair that people who want to play a game like Dark Souls are unable to because of the difficulty level, when some kind of optional assist mode could easily remedy this and help scores of gamers discover the game's gorgeous, interconnected world and fearsome bosses.
The assisted mode is called the normal Dark Souls difficulty. Bro, I don't understand your point here. Like, I get it, sure, Dark Souls could be easy, but then that would destroy the point of Dark Souls. Dark Souls is supposed to be a hard game. It's not supposed to hold your hand throughout. You're supposed to figure things out as you go. And if you don't have the mental power for that, then I'm sorry, but you're not going to be having fun in Dark Souls.
Those that are against Dark Souls having an easy mode tend to be super vocal about it, but here's the thing. How does it really actually affect them if other people are able to play on an easier setting? Would these people honestly suddenly be unable to enjoy the challenge of Dark Souls just because they know there's an assist mode of some kind in the menu. A mode they would never ever have to turn on because they were able to get good without any help. I've beaten all 3 Dark Souls games and Bloodborne. I love how challenging these titles are, but knowing someone else was able to beat it on an easier setting would do nothing to lessen my enjoyment of them. It shouldn't for anybody.
This is honestly a statement that I both agree with and disagree with. Because, I mean, sure, it shouldn't affect anyone or bother anyone if there's a easy mode. It's not really that big of a deal. But that being said, it does go against the core principle of Dark Souls, which is that the game is hard. You learn by experiencing the shit that goes on in the game regularly, and you get used to the hard difficulty. So by then, nothing bothers you anymore.
The second argument against having an easy mode in Dark Souls is one that does come from a place of logic and reason rather than blind, dismissive elitism, and it's one that could be extended against the concept of assist modes in general. This argument suggests that Dark Souls is an intrinsically challenging game, and that its difficulty is a key, perhaps unavoidable, part of the experience. Shouldn't a developer from software be able to craft and release its game and have people experience it in the way they intended? Shouldn't every developer have that right?
And that is why Dark Souls is challenging. It was made to be a challenging game.
It's an interesting point, though one that could be countered by the notion that players should be able to play games however they want. I mean, if someone can play through Dark Souls on a potato or with a set of Guitar Hero drums, why can't someone else play through on an easy mode? It's absolutely understandable for a developer to want you to play through their game in a specific way, but should this be done at the expense of certain players?
Okay, I figure I may as well just swap over to the Doom Eternal gameplay now to show a harder game than Titanfall 2. Alright, so here's the Doom Eternal gameplay now. The reason I put this here is because a lot of people like calling it the quote-unquote Dark Souls FPS, and also because, similarly to Dark Souls, it has a huge learning curve. One which I think elevates the gameplay and makes you feel even more badass once you're through it. But also because I feel it lines up really well with what From Software wants to do with Dark Souls, and does very well to their credit. And that is forcing the playstyle of like dodge and weave shit like that into the players of Dark Souls. Similarly here in Doom Eternal, there's the whole playstyle of quick swapping, being fast, moving around. The point is that, like, sometimes you gotta adapt to what the developer wanted you to do. And personally, I don't mind that. There's a reason why you don't bum rush in Rainbow Six or try to hit trick shots or whatever. It's because the game is not meant for that. It's a tactical shooter. Similarly here, there's a reason why you don't just stand still and tank damage in Doom Eternal. It's because that's not the way that it's intended to be played. And of course, with Dark Souls, there's a very specific way to play it, and that is careful as possible.
Surely, as long as the developer makes it clear that there is an intended way to play, then the majority will be happy to play through it that way, and the rest can still experience the game in some capacity. I imagine there are plenty of inexperienced gamers who might even see playing a game like Dark Souls on easy mode as a way of easing into the game before playing through in the proper way. What would be wrong with that?
I feel like I'm beating a dead horse at this point. Dude, there's nothing wrong with an easy mode for video games. The only issue is when it's for a game like Dark Souls, which has the very trademark of being a hard game, then there's something wrong there. There's a very fine line between games like Call of Duty and Dark Souls. Dark Souls doesn't baby the player. Which is no hate towards Call of Duty, as I do enjoy that franchise, and I think it's, okay, but that being said, there's a reason why certain games have a certain difficulty to them. It's because it's a very part of their design and trademark.
The notion of a developer's singular vision and a player's right to enjoy a game in the manner of their choosing are bound to butt heads, but there are plenty of recent and outstanding games that had a clear intended way to play, but still managed to offer plenty of accessibility options so that as many people as possible could get in on the fun.
This is why target audiences exist. Dark Souls is targeted towards more hardcore gamers who like to sweat and like a challenge.
So let's take a look at a couple of assist modes from recent games and talk about what they did right. I'm going to start with the excellent Super Mario Odyssey, a gorgeous 3D platformer that offered an incredibly helpful mode that was predominantly created for younger players.
You hear that at the end? He just described the target audience right there of Mario. Mario is directed towards younger audiences, not towards hardcore gamers. Like, that's not who Nintendo makes their games for. And how are you comparing Dark Souls and Mario? Like, I don't really see a comparison there. They're two very, very different types of games. That's like apples and oranges. Hell, maybe apples and bananas at that point.
The third and final game I'd like to talk about is the Resident Evil 2 remake. Capcom's outstanding survival horror sets out to scare you through a blend of scarce resources, terrifying set pieces, and grisly enemies that are hard to put down, and even harder to make stay down. This is a game that sets out to make you poop your pants and feel as uncomfortable as possible.
Yeah, and the horror comes from not only the scares and shit, but also the scarce resources and all of that. That's one of the major reasons why RE2 is hailed as one of the scariest games of all time. It's not just because of the story and all of that, it's also because of the way that the gameplay functions. It's clunky, it's hard, it's slow, and you just want to scream all the time because you can't get away from that lurker or that zombie who's about to take a bite out of your neck. And I feel that is really well done.
So it was surprising to many that the game contained an assist mode. This mode contains slightly weaker enemies, the ability to recover health up to a point, and an aim assist, which generally means you'll always have more ammo on your person, and feel just a little bit safer as a result. Speaking from personal experience, I know there are people out there who adore the Resi series, but ironically struggle with horror games due to anxiety and other factors.
I mean, that doesn't seem like the reason why they put the assist mode in. They probably put it in so that newer players and people who hadn't played like a Resident Evil game before could understand what to do when they actually hit the normal difficulty. And also, you talking about anxiety issues, that's the reason why I don't play horror games. It's just not my type of thing.
Obviously, Resi 2 is the most visceral, immersive game in the franchise to date, so for the anxious horror fan out there, being able to do at least one run-through on assist mode is a huge helpful move. Playing the game on assist doesn't stop it from being an absolutely terrifying game, what with the being relentlessly pursued by dark mutated horrors and all, but it can act as a security blanket of sorts for those who need a gentle push to continue through the dark, even if it's not the recommended way to play. Now, I'm sure plenty of you are wondering why anyone who struggles with horror titles should even be attempting to play a game like Resident Evil 2, but all I can say is this: Resident Evil 2 is a fantastic piece of work, and as many people as possible should be able to enjoy it as best they can.
But see, there's a key point he seems to miss. Not everyone wants to play a horror game. Similarly, not everyone might want to play Dark Souls or Mario. There's a reason why, and it's because people have personal preferences when it comes to games.
If assist mode can do that, and crucially drive up sales so we can get a remake of Resident Evil 3, then you'll hear no complaints from me. I guess your opinion on whether games should have assist modes or easy modes or anything of the sort all comes down to who you think gets to decide what the right way to play a game is, if you even think such a thing exists. Personally, I think they're the future. Celeste and Super Mario Odyssey picked up a ton of Game of the Year awards in their respective release years, and the Resident Evil 2 remake is bound to do exactly the same. The extra accessibility features to help as many people as possible didn't stop any of those games from being beloved gameplay experiences exactly in the way the developer intended, and probably helped overall sales and goodwill while making zero difference to anyone who decided to play these games without such features enabled.
So I cut out the last few seconds after this because, I mean, first off, the video is at the end, and second off, I mean, it doesn't really add much, it's just an outro. But either way, what he's saying here is that assist mode is the reason why these games got Game of the Year. No, it's because Celeste, Mario, and whatever else was named in there are genuinely good games. Like, Doom Eternal almost got a Game of the Year award, but we all know what happened to that. Cough cough, Last of Us 2. But anyway though, like, it got Game of the Year almost because it was simply a good game. That's it. No, it didn't have an assist mode, and it was still getting that award because it was, again, a good game. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. No outro song this time because I have to head to work. Bye-bye.